Tonight I'm working on the updates to my Daylight software that I manage, as well as updating my business playbook with some recent changes that I've been making in my business and trying to find some of the gaps and um, incomplete sections of that so I know what to think through, I guess you could say. So I'm mostly going to be working on my computer and typing more so than writing in my notebook, although I may write in there time to time. So I will be typing a lot, and I've tried to adjust the sound. I think the keyboard might just need to be like on something because it's much louder when I'm typing than it actually sounds because of like the pressure like on the table. So I think I need to get I used to have a pad, like a desk pad, but my son drew on it with marker and my mouse pad, which is why I'm using a notebook for a mouse pad tonight too. So those are on my list to get. I just am continuing to forget every day. Anyway. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to keep working. I'm kind of doing a little bit of list making, writing, coding, cloud coding, all of the above. So either work along with me if you'd like, or just relax. It's up to you. Okay. Okay, so one of the things I was working on last video is renaming my different tools, the different tools that are in the app. I'm having a hard time with it. I thought this would be much easier than it is. I don't really know why it's causing me so much grief, but I think it is because I am struggling between being just really plain and simple with like the naming conventions and them actually helping the user identify what they're for. Those are two different things. You know what I mean? So I'm using the example of like pulling a tarot card for creative thinking. I right now call it like pull a tarot card. But the goal is it's more of an exercise in noticing. It's not like fortune telling or forecasting, but like an exercise in noticing and pausing and like reconnecting versus like trying to push through a creative block. It's more of a creative exercise. But like if I just call it a creative exercise, then it doesn't help. So I'm feeling a little stuck. This is the kind of thing that's so much easier for me to do with other people or for other people than it is to do for myself. So, okay. I'm just reading through my notes to see. Okay, I'm just reading through my notes to see if there's anything in there that already helps me find the answer. And the funny thing is, this is one of those times when maybe I should pull a tarot card and get an idea. But I'll do that another time. Yeah, I feel like the navigation as a whole, I just kind of realized through reading through some of my notes that the navigation of the app as a whole is throwing me off a little bit. Um, right now, it's like really organized by certain things, and honestly, I don't think it makes all that much sense. Going forward, I think it's been okay, but it's not ideal. So, you know what I'm gonna do is take a screenshot of it, share it with a friend. But I'll do that another time. I'm just making a note about it, but I'm gonna have to think about this one on a bigger scale before I actually start doing any coding or anything. So right now I'm just gonna call them good. So I have notes in my document that I want to make to the home screen, the dashboard, to make that more useful to users. And so I'm just running those through Tool to see if there's any red flags there. I'm struggling with the navigation thing, the UI stuff. Like I'm a UI. I have experience in UX and UI, but not necessarily from like an app, like a SaaS or software perspective. It's more from like content websites, and it is different enough to be causing me some struggle. So I think this is one of those things where I need to like involve someone else and ask for help and not just guess. But I keep going through my notes because I've already talked to so many people. I feel like I have more insights than I'm thinking of in this moment. So let's see. So just for fun, let's do a tarot card pull because I like to do that when I'm feeling a little lost. So funny. I pulled the Knight of Swords, the meaning being fast thinking, direct communication, a strong charge towards a goal. The pace is high and the mind is sharp. Taking action, experimenting, moving things forward. It can communication, decision making, and clarity. That is exactly what I am looking for, but not what I have. And that's the meaning of the card. I feel like I just like went back on what I said, which is I don't necessarily use it in these moments for like intuitive insights more than noticing. For example, I know you can't see my screen, but there's a lot of blue in the card with pops of red. I'm noticing the color. So to say it simply, I'm noticing the color a lot in the card. Usually I notice things more like the animal. Oh, you know what I noticed too is he's got a really, really sharp boot with like a spike on the back, but even the toe of the boot is like super pointed and curved down. I'm noticing those types of details, the really sharp details. So I think something about like the sharpness or just like the precision and the boldness. So when it comes to um, choosing a navigation, I think I need to keep it really sharp and crisp and clear. Nice, clear communication and not use the more creative terms. So let's go with that. I'll still ask for help. I'll still run it by somebody who knows more about this world than I do. But for now, decision made. Okay. Okay. So I had some notes in my document that I already put into Claude Code about how I wanted to update my dashboard. I'm going to have it do that work for me, and then I'll go through and review the code myself. Just much more efficient to do it that way tonight, and some of it is dynamic anyway, and that's where it starts to get a little bit much for me with coding. So okay, so I think that's good to run for a few minutes. The other thing, okay, so I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between some of my projects. So like as I'm making these updates to the software, it is changing slightly, not massively, but changing slightly. The like business a bit. It's and the best way to say that is it is really helping me to refine things in the business, which is great. Like I'm feeling like I have a lot more clarity around some things that were feeling just like put together quickly, and I didn't have a good like grasp on them. Now I'm feeling a lot more clear, which gotta love that, right? So I'm trying to make sure I have all of those things documented in my like a business playbook. So I'm updating the playbook with my like framework and stuff. And what's interesting interesting is as I go through the playbook, I have like these 4 I'm so distractible tonight, aren't I? I have these 4 steps to like my framework method that I use with clients, and I'm having a hard time articulating myself, which tells me it might be time for me to wrap it up. But let me finish what I'm working on. I have these like 4 pillars, so it goes like, the discovery, which is mostly like self-discovery, alignment, which is like gathering all of the context of decision making, shape, which is like putting it all together into a container, so like shaping your priorities, your business model, your availability, your capacity, things like that. And then movement, so actually like the plan, taking action, moving forward, right? So it's kind of, my take on your more standard like framework method. And this app follows that same method, or I guess I should say that like the different components of the app consider the method and function as either like micro content areas that do the full method, or they at least give you a piece of it. So like there's a self-discovery area, there's like a shape creation area, things like that. And I'm wondering in the navigation if I should work any of that in, or if that's more just like that internal language that's for me to use when working with people, rather than something that needs to be like visible, right? In the app itself. I feel like it's definitely more of a lens than like a content approach. Like I don't need to be using those terms publicly and anything. Actually, if anything, now that I say them out loud too, which is why I love this type of work, like recording and creating content like this as I work, is because I'm seeing things in a slightly different way too. So that's cool. We love it. Okay. I also feel like I'm not making very much sense right now. You'll have to tell me if you feel like any of this makes sense. Do I want to know? I don't know. Is ignorance bliss? It could be. love to know if watching this type of video, if you are still here with me after all this time tonight, if you're also working on something, or if you are just relaxing, knowing if people are also working, or if this is more for relaxation. I might be able, well, I definitely can at that point, like, adjust a little bit of like how much talking I'm doing and stuff like that. So it'd be nice to know. Let me know if you made it this far into this video. Okay. Okay. Okay, I have some code troubleshooting to do, which I actually am a big enough nerd where I actually really like doing that. So that's fine with me. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's looking really good. I think I might have accomplished way more this evening than I thought. Wow. Good job, me. I think sometimes it's interesting how it's like just thinking through something and writing it down, taking some screenshots and making some quick edits to like the code on something makes such a huge difference to me. Like, it's not that I got a huge amount of work done, it's that there wasn't that much work to get done. It just felt so much bigger than it was because I couldn't visualize it. You know what I mean? So that's really good news. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of keep working on the playbook a little bit. So when I was saying those things out loud, like discover, align, shape, and move, I think those are too jargony. It's too much jargon. I was trying to use like simple terms, like one word terms, but now that I'm doing it that way, I'm like, no, I don't like that. So, I'm just gonna make notes to myself and like what to think about, and like during the day, I'm parenting most of the time. Sometimes I'm working on client stuff or like hosting a meeting or a co-working session or whatever. And I have a lot more time to like think than work, if that makes sense. So I oftentimes, like in my evening sessions, I will just like make notes to myself for what to think about the next day, even though that sounds kind of silly. Like, why would you need to remind yourself what to think about? But trust me, I do. I don't know why I closed that. I was gonna move it, but it's gonna be too loud if I do. So I'll keep it open. Okay. Let's see. I don't like the jargon. Okay. I'm gonna think through that. Also, if you want to see anything else, like I'm not showing my screen because there's some like proprietary stuff and like client information and club members' names and stuff. So I don't want to show anything there. But if you'd like to see any of like the app or any of the things that I can show, let me know if you'd like me to show you any of that stuff in a future video. I might anyway, just because on my to-do list for the longer term is like some like feature tutorial walkthrough videos. So I'm going to be planning those and doing like some practice runs, and I might do those because it's going to be nighttime. I'm not only talking in a quiet voice for ASMR purposes, it's more that I need to be talking in a quiet voice because everybody in my house is asleep. And I don't want to wake them up. More so than, and it just makes sense to then share that with you. But anyway, if you'd like to see more of like what's on the screen and some of what I'm working on in the future, maybe I'll share that. You can let me know. Okay. Also, some good news. It's currently um, July 21st, and we have some good astrology going on this week, guys. I don't know if anyone is into astrology, but I am, and I'm very excited about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. I'm not enough of an astrologer to tell you what's going on, that's for sure. But look up the astrology of this week, of the week of July 20th, if you're at all curious about that kind of stuff. It's fun. It's fun for me. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap up from here because the coding is something I need to work through, and I'm not going to be able to go through all of that tonight. I don't have enough time to actually like read through all of the lines of code, and even though I use tools like Claude Code, I like to do as much as I can to actually like be hands-on with it. So you know, um it's looking really, really good though. I have some design work to do, some CSS edits to make, things of that nature, but it's feeling great. Thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you found this relaxing, and I will see you next time. Good night.